Hi, hello.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me here. It's exciting to be part of the conference.
Yeah, yeah. This is great to have you here to present your topics in the Global XR Bootcamp. And yeah, let's introduce yourself first. Here, maybe you. Yeah.
Sure. My name is Rish Latlakar. I'm co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld. And previously, I was also co-founder and chief business development officer of the Rogue Initiative.
All right. All right. So I think the time is now. So are you ready to share your screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I share it with everyone right now. Okay. Uh, the place and the time is yours. Please continue with the presentation.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for having me. Today I'm going to talk about Superworld, your future life in the XR world. And it's great to be at Global XR Bootcamp 2020. Again, my name is Rish Latlakar. I'm co-founder and CEO of Superworld and also co-founder of Rogue Initiative Studios. So first of all, I'd like to start my talk in going through kind of the four inflections and also the changing state of the world. XR is transforming everything, and then finally talk a bit about Superworld. So what are the inflections? The confluence of new technologies is creating a new environment. So first of all, back in 2015, after Oculus was acquired by Facebook, there was a strong interest in new virtual reality headsets by all the major manufacturers. So HTC launched the Vive, Oculus came out through Facebook with the original Rift, and then PlayStation VR launched. And soon enough, we had mobile phones that were doing augmented reality, and Pokemon Go became a very big hit. And even Sony started working on AR along with other companies that are in the space who started looking at AR glasses. And, soon Microsoft and Facebook and Apple will even have AR glasses hitting the market. So we're seeing this real convergence of, on the hardware side, mobile devices on the AR side. So, 95% of iPhone users can support AR, and we're about 2 billion mobile AR devices now, soon to be about 3.5 billion by 2022. So every mobile device is now AR capable. Artificial intelligence and advances in machine learning are giving us the ability to create worlds where we have full contextual information on objects around us, digital objects, understand us and are able to react to our environment. And with IoT and the ability for hardware around us to also have an understanding of the surroundings, we're really able to move into this next world that we're creating. Finally, decentralized ledger technologies and blockchain are giving us transparency, innovation, immutability, and allowing us to have programmable assets. And that technology is providing a variety of ways for us to add innovation, integrity, and transparency. And finally, we're getting the ownership economy that's coming from this. So users can build, operate, and own a piece of the virtual worlds that we're creating. So you get better alignment with users over time, and you get larger, more resilient, and innovative platforms. The AR cloud is coming fast. And the AR cloud allows us to, experience and augment our surroundings and share those surroundings and tie information to specific locations across applications and devices. And the spatial memory allows users to collaborate engage and share AR and VR experiences across different locations and AR devices in real time. And, Apple, Google, Epic Games, Niantic, Unity, they're all working on a variety of engines that are improving this AR cloud. So it's coming really fast, and it's going to be very transformative. And 5G technology is definitely allowing us to be able to interact in this future XR world, because we are able to enhance fast, low latency 5G connections and applications, which can get even higher resolution graphics and images straight from the cloud. And this is really going to advance everything, along with what you're already seeing with LiDAR technology on mobile phones that have just been released on the latest iPhone and the latest iPad and Android devices as well. The next migration, the changing state of the world, is coming. The future of work is distributed. As we've seen now, people don't really have an issue in having workers work wherever they want and wherever is most comfortable. And so we're finding that people are moving out of the cities. People are exploring other locations to live based on their preferences, based on where they would like to raise their kids or to spend more time. And so we're kind of distributing ourselves away from major centers, which is actually a change from what has been happening over the last 100 to 200 years, moving into cities. And we think that this distributed work and this new remote type working environment is moving us very fast into this virtual world as well. And finally, the MOOC trend with people learning online, which really took off in 2012 and has just really gone straight up and even faster and faster in the last year, with people realizing that they don't have to go to a university somewhere, but can learn from home or learn from anywhere. Esports is taking over sports and really penetrating the general daily user who maybe prior would be out on a soccer field or a football field, now is training to play the next video game or in the next XR world that's coming out. And that's going to be really exciting as this continues to become more and more realistic. Esports and esports players are going to become, I predict, the most highly paid players, even more than physical sports players, because of just the ability for esports to add so much to a game and to allow users and their audience to really be part of that game. And so esports is also transforming how we're thinking about worlds. And finally, this year has been really tough, but the coronavirus has really shown us, I think the silver lining is that we're staying at home, we're kind of spending more time with family, but that if we want to continue to be as effective in our work, in our life, we'll have to go virtual. And so the coronavirus has really caused us to do a lot more things in a very virtual way. So the future of work, life, education, and entertainment is digital, and it's likely that we'll not go back to our regular systems after COVID-19. There's an increase in people looking to monetize virtual activities to replace existing income. Video sharing platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Skillshare, all of these have had a huge, tremendous rise in usage. And collecting and selling currency online has become very important. And you're seeing the increase in Ether and the price of Bitcoin and other things happening very fast now because of the fact that people are realizing that the world is becoming more distributed and more virtual. And the economies dealing with coronavirus are causing a large increase in printing of money, which has caused more people to realize the value of digital currencies. So we've seen about an 11% increase in digital gaming spending this year, a 15% increase in mobile gaming, and the overall value of all of this in these virtual global platforms is about $60 billion. So it's definitely growing very fast because of coronavirus. And XR is transforming everything. And that's why we're all here, is we believe in this industry. And this is what is going to help us really enable this future world. So I don't have to explain too much to this audience, but just in case, just to kind of be very clear, I think we have a spectrum here in XR, and that whole spectrum is part of what I'm discussing today when I talk about this movement into the XR world. So we're going to go from a very real environment to an AR environment to a fully VR environment. At the snap of a finger with the newest hardware and what's coming in the future. So it's going to be a mix of everything. So it's going to be very exciting. I don't think we're going to be as separated as much between AR and VR, but it's going to be all mixed reality. In the near future, the physical world and the digital world will be indistinguishable. Humanity and digitality will be one. And this has amazing implications for our future. So if we think back about the history of this, first information was digitized and algorithms were used to help us search and sort information. And then second, we started compiling social information on our human relationships. And what's coming is the digitization of everything. And this new reality is going to create a lot of abundance and opportunities for everyone. So what is this AR, XR future really about? So, I think your typical day is going to be, you're going to wake up in this world and you're going to put on a pair of glasses. And those glasses are going to give you contextual information and media on what you value most in your life. The world around you will really be serving you. It'll be enhancing your life. You'll not need many hardware devices to access this information, but instead we'll rely on this pair of glasses, the XR glasses, whether it's coming from Apple or Facebook or Samsung or any of the hardware makers that have come out. So, I think that the world will be surrounded with cameras, and we'll be able to really understand your surroundings. And those cameras, again, with blockchain, will allow us to own our data and monetize our data. So I'm not presenting a dystopian future when I say that we're going to have cameras, but it's going to be a very positive, I think, future where we're going to be a lot more in control about the information that enters our environment and the information that we expose to the world. And that's going to be very important. Here's a slide that I think we all know in this group about hyper reality. I don't think it's going to necessarily look like this, but I think if you do press the button and turn everything on, you can see this, which, I think is going to be a setting if you do want to see all the information all at once. The form factor from which we're going to get this information is also going to change. So, any space around you is going to be an interactive XR computer with AI. You're not going to have to rely on hardware as much because any space will be that computer or that computing device. You'll have a virtual digital assistant that can help you with audio, kind of what we're seeing already with Alexa and Siri. And that virtual assistant will probably be in the form of an avatar that you can talk to at any time that will appear in front of you in AR or VR. And entertainment's going to be very different in this future XR world. When you want to relax and enjoy entertainment, that content will be around you, will be immersive and also interactive. You'll be able to passively enjoy it, like you do today, but also actively participate in it. And this is already starting to happen, as we know, with interactive entertainment on Netflix or, in video games like Call of Duty. I'm a co-founder of a studio called Rogue Initiative Studios, where we're working on franchises that go across feature film and television and VR and gaming. And the reason that we exist is because the interactive world and the linear world is coming together. And nowadays, what's happening is you can create new content that's meant to go across all these mediums, from traditional feature film to gaming to television, all the way to VR. And that's what the future of entertainment is going to be, is you're going to be able to have agency in a game or a movie, or you can sit back and passively also enjoy it. So that's going to bring a lot of excitement to entertainment, along when you think of haptics as well, and make all this feeling of these things that you're experiencing very real. Companies like Tesla Suit, who's been, founded by friends of mine, are already creating this feeling. And so this is going to be very exciting. We're already seeing that commerce is changing quite a bit because of XR. Not only are we able to try on things or see things in your house, whether it's furniture or makeup or shoes, the XR world is giving us this very palpable understanding of products we want to buy. And that's causing us to want to, not only buy them, but buy more, and to really engage with the companies that are allowing us the ability to have these types of experiences now. In the future, that is going to be exactly how you shop for everything. And when you're in your haptic suit and you're in your AR, VR glasses, your MR glasses, shopping is going to be fully digitized, and the digital assistants that you're working with are really going to know your preferences. And so it's going to be a pleasure to look at advertising or look at products, because you're going to be able to really explore in ways that I don't think you can do right now fully, and on video and other things that we think of as very normal. Work and life is going to be very different. Things that we think of in terms of being in a healthcare setting or dealing with a factory or industrial process. The future of work will be transformed by IoT and AI and automation. And a lot of things that we want to do will just be taking care of themselves automatically. We'll be able to see processes, and we'll be able to understand things a lot more clearly. And so there won't be as many mistakes in this example of medicine. And so XR, as we know, is doing a lot to modernize a lot of industries and work. And that is all going to be part of the XR world that we live in. And finally, I really believe that as we move into this XR world, you're going to be a master of your digital space. Just as in previous generations, we had to maybe master reading or writing or other skills. In the future, XR is going to be what everyone needs to master. So I think a lot of the people here at this conference are really a step ahead in the fact that we're already pushing ahead into this field and really making strides here, because the future XR world will allow us to see things, better understand how they work. Visual literacy will be your most important skill, and creativity is the ultimate skill. And again, as we think of AI and the penetration of AI and machine learning in our life, creativity will be the core of anyone's skill set, and the ability to create in XR will be that ultimate tool. Finally, I just want to touch on what we're doing at SuperWorld, because we are working on building this XR world. So SuperWorld's a virtual world on top of the real world that allows people to create their super reality, discover, monetize, and own the world. We have a real estate interface, so we're selling the world around the world. People can buy virtual land. We're on blockchain, so we allow that ownership and transparency. And properties around the world are being bought already, and the world that we're creating in SuperWorld really is important for, I think, this evolution as we move into XR, because what we want to do is really create a world that enhances people's lives. And I think that's the mission of everyone who's in this industry is, we should really focus on, as we move into this future XR world, is how can we make that world better for everyone? And so I really, want to salute everyone at this conference, because I think that we're all coming together to share and explore and learn, because for us to work in XR and to build an XR world, it really takes, a village. Just as it takes a village to raise a child, I think, it really takes all of us to build this XR world. And, this future XR world that we're creating, I think what it does is it creates, infinite opportunities for humanity. So I'm really excited about that. And I want to thank you again for your time today. And I guess I'll go with questions now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Riz.
Thanks.
Thank you for your presentation, and this nice to hear about your SuperWorld presentation today. And yeah, I think there's a couple of questions out here that I can see that want to deliver to you right now. That you're mentioning before about the hyper reality, right? That
Yeah.
yeah, so many people maybe might see it in the
Yeah.
YouTube, right? The video is so
Yeah.
awesome. Everything in the real world, the
Yeah.
hyper. I mean, at this one, more people when we deliver presentation about this AR, VR, MR, XR. Sometimes we 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 give them the overview. The at the end of the goal is either hyper reality or maybe Ready Player One, something like that. And but how far do you think that we are from uh, those real case?
Well, the Fortnite and the other platforms like Roblox, like Minecraft, like even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, with what was happening with Second Life, I think has demonstrated to us that people really have this very strong affinity to create and live in virtual worlds. I think what we're doing with SuperWorld as an example, which is a world that's around us, right, allows us to already start putting content around us. Pokemon Go is a great example of this, where people are now walking around looking for Pokemons, and not only just Pokemons. Niantic is doing a lot of things besides just Pokemon Go, and so I think this world is here already. It's just not evenly distributed to everyone, and it's going to be. I think as the hardware from Facebook and Apple comes to market, and Qualcomm's chip technology gets into more hardware, and other companies start breaking into this space in the next couple of years. I think we're about 3 years away from having ubiquitous content around us in the real world, and we've already started doing that at SuperWorld. And again, there's a variety of companies that are in the space that are doing it and making strides. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I think that's a great insight here. That uh, from your perspective, and how far that how fast that we can get into those world, that for the last couple of years we have those experience in the digital application, right, through the
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Go, Minecraft, and others. And
Mm-hmm.
from your journey experience of building the super world, what is the most challenging part of your journey? until now?
Yeah, I think journey is a definitely a good way to put it. It is a journey, and it's an evolving process. And I think it's the most challenging part. And it's hard to say because there's so many challenging parts. But I'd say one of the things that is interesting is, people want to understand what Superworld is, right? And they go to our website, which is superworldapp.com, and they watch our video and they read our insider's guide. The very positive thing is that they're very inspired when they hear about it. They hear about it, this virtual world that they can own and create in and discover content. But it's really getting the information out there to the mainstream audience is challenging, because people who know AR VR understand it, get it. People who understand blockchain understand and get it. People who understand a combination of those two understand it really well. And then there's a lot of people who are still new to both of those concepts. And so, it's really, important for us to really properly educate the world about, hey, if we're moving into this immersive world, right? If we're moving into immersive technology, who owns that world? Why can't you own that world? How can you own that world? And so those are kind of things that people, once they start opening their minds to that, really, really catch on. So that's been kind of fun, actually, thinking about that and educating people, educating the market.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what we have right now. Also, that people, I think, ready. I think not most people, but more people year over the year ready to adopting this technology.
Mhm.
They're starting even the normal user using their handphone to play like Pokemon Go, Minecraft, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of idea of the super world, something like that I think everybody uh, already play with it, but not really realize what it means, right? Something like that. Personally with you about this topic, Superworld. What is the personal perspective, and you can share with others how we can see it in the right perspective.
Yeah. So, I think that the vision that we have at Superworld is we want to create a place that anyone can create their super reality. We talk about virtual reality and augmented reality. So we've coined a term called super reality, which is also a term out there. And so, can you create your super reality? And we want to enable anyone to create their super reality, whether they create it in Superworld or elsewhere. We want to be able to have them share it in Superworld, as well as content that they create in Superworld. We'd love to have it shared elsewhere. So we want to make it very seamless, whether it's sharing in or out from Superworld. We want to make it very cross-platform. We want to allow users to have a ability to discover lots of content. Again, whether it's created in Superworld or elsewhere. So we're again seamless with Unity, Maya, Blender, and anywhere that people want to create AR, 3D content. And then monetization is very important. So we want users to be able to monetize this content they're creating. And so we've working on lots of ways to help creators, help developers, users, to be able to monetize content as well as to own the world. Now, this is a concept that is not really present in many of the centralized companies out there. So we're decentralized, and so everyone can own Superworld. You just go to our website and you can buy it, right? And so that's something that we're really excited about too. Is the opportunity for the community to be involved in it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's great to hear. But your dream or your insight on this journey of your building super world. Maybe you're the first, maybe at the near future hyper reality, you're the first one to build it. And then yeah, I think regarding that, you mentioned also earlier about limitation of the device. And also you said earlier that form factor of the device will be more smaller, more effective, more cheaper, something like that. Uh,
Mhm.
and what do you see at the side of the device, or also for the CC from the technical perspective, from the
Mhm.
developer perspective? Uh, how far that this is as the device and the developer adoption uh, will be uh, will be in the real reality, something like that. Do you
Mhm.
see the upcoming 3 or 5 years? We can see small device like and you picture the gadget, the small gadget, something like that. How do you see perspective on the hardware side?
Yeah, I mean, I think Facebook is already showing some pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And they've had years now with Oculus, and I think that Apple has made lots of acquisitions in the space as well, and they've released a lot of patent applications on potential devices that they're working on. And you look at what Google's been doing for years. They acquired Unreal, and companies from India to China have shown products. And so if you look across the space, not even thinking about the billions of dollars that have gone into Magic Leap's technologies,
Yes.
there's billions and billions of dollars that are going into not only the software that powers the future AR cloud, but the hardware and miniaturization of these technologies that power these AR devices. And so I'm pretty excited that in the next, I would say couple of years, that Apple will be in market. I think Tim Cook has already announced that internally to his staff. Facebook has already announced their, Ray-Ban partnership. So I would say very effectively, in a very conservative way in the next decade, but I would say in a very probable way the next 5 years, and I would say in again in a very optimistic way, I'd say the next year and a half to 2 years, I think we'll be there with pretty good hardware. And you saw the evolution of how
Yeah.
quickly I showed an old slide of
Yes.
Oculus on purpose because we're at Oculus 2, no wires, great resolution with the Quest, and that was what only 5 years of getting there. And I think in 2 or 3 years it's going to be light years ahead. So yeah.
It's really in short time, right? That's
Yeah.
and this super world idea itself is not limited by the device itself at the end,
No.
right?
No.
Super world is gonna be everywhere. Your
Yeah.
idea is not only limited by the device, not limited into the platform, but
No.
super world is the idea of everybody can have it, right?
Yeah, and we're on blockchain, so we're not going anywhere. Your kids are going to be able to buy and sell SuperWorld.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Bitcoin. If you believe in Bitcoin, you don't believe in Bitcoin. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, and the same idea with SuperWorld. There's only a limited amount of SuperWorld, and
Yes.
so yeah, I think decentralization is a very big part of this future XR world.
Yeah, I think we are really excited. I'm personally also excited about hearing more on the super world in the near future. About your building it into more awesome place to us to have in the super world. I think, yeah, this is nice sharing today from you, and this is a great session. Thank you for joining us in the Global XR Bootcamp and sharing your idea on the super world itself. And yeah, do you have any other else that you want to say to the world? Any other insight that you want to say before we end this session?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and you guys have really arranged a really great conference. And I think that we're a community, we're a global XR community. And first of all, I want to tell everyone in this community who's listening to this, if you want to reach out, I'm always open to talk. We're building SuperWorld because it's a very inclusive community, and so I'd love to work with everyone here. And so I'm happy that your organization is bringing this community together, and I think that's how we do it. We have to all do it together and work together to build this future XR world. And so again, thanks again for the opportunity to share some of my message.
All right. Thank you very much for today, and see you later.
Thank you. See you later.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. See you later. This is my daughter's artwork, by the way, behind me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I see it along the station while we do Q&A. All right. See you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.